Yo, what's up guys? Teacher Paul over here, and today we are reacting to the Netherlands. Let's take a look at this. This is actually a video that I found. Actually, somebody sent it to me, but I couldn't find the person who sent it, so I can't give them a shout out, but this is Dutch architecture in the USA. Pretty interesting. Um I have no idea how the Netherlands or the Dutch influenced the architecture of the USA, so we're going to check it out today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any more interesting videos from your country, from all over the world, let me know in the comments down below. Let's do this. Let's go.
The Netherlands has had a big influence on contemporary architecture around the world. With architects such as Rem Koolhaas, Dutch architecture became a world-renowned brand, with projects all over Europe, the Middle East and Asia.
Cool. Wow.
The last few years, Dutch architects are also leaving a mark on the United States.
Oh,
Many
I think I've
opened
seen
up
this
an
one
office
before.
here in New York City, and their projects are popping up all around the country.
I think being Dutch already means that you were pushed over the threshold of understanding that everything is possible. Creating an entire land, an entire country at a location where originally or naturally there was water is totally possible. So it's easier wherever that is to come up with solutions to manipulate natural conditions.
Very smart.
We've had 2 decades of building this. The commission was a horticultural master plan for the entire 25 acres of the Battery. The park was in terrible need of a new vision. Everything was very downtrodden, no spirit of beauty, and it was hosting millions of visitors around the world, and this is what they thought of us as New Yorkers. One of my donors said, "Rory, do you know the work of Piet Oudolf, the Dutchman?" I think he had 5 books published at the time, and I
love the
ordered all of
background
them.
music.
And I went, I love the aesthetic. I love the wildness, the sense of nature in control. No one was really understanding that gardens are the charm. They bring the bees, the insects, the birds. They bring the balance of nature, which we so sorely need to do.
The renovation of our Central Branch Library in New York City is the biggest physical project in the history, 125-year history of the New York Public Library. It's a $200 million project. It's our premier location. We needed the best architect in the world.
Wow.
We scoured the world. We found Francine.
Nice.
I think it was the perfect match. I think that with all dovetail selection processes, this is how it shakes out. I'm a firm believer in international, global outlook. I think Francine brought an invaluable amount of library experience.
We took a decrepit old building that was not even built to be a library, it was built to be a department store, and turned it into the state-of-the-art Central Library of New York City,
Nice.
the capital of the world.
Wow, if I had
Seeing
watched
what
this video
Francine did is
before,
absolutely extraordinary.
if I had watched this video before going to New York, I would have gone there because my wife absolutely loves libraries and this looks beautiful.
She opened it up, daylight comes in,
Wow.
she raised the ceilings. The building looks to me like, in the interior, it's 3 times the size I would have imagined it possibly could be. It's a real gift to the city.
Wow. These buildings look so nice.
Because I started as a sculptor, I can't think flat at all. I always think everything 3D, which makes it really difficult for myself. And that's also why I was in the 90s, early 90s already, working 3D on the computer, because it for me was a huge help You know, because I was very bad in thinking in plan or section only, because for me it's actually the space.
And we live in a three-dimensional world, so
From the beginning, I've been kind of a pioneer. We were digital, one of the first completely digital offices.
Wow.
And after 20 years of digital design, it has very much changed how we manufacture components in architecture and how everything is built. This was in the Unprivate House show, the show in MoMA, house in Millbrook. This is Tia Chibani's recent office that we're building prefab for her
Amazing
upstate.
architecture. Look at
The little
that.
house, and this is the gallery. And we're really on the brink of a major change of how buildings are built, you know, on site as well as in the factory. So it's a super exciting period.
I graduated in the 90s in the Netherlands, and obviously we had the Super Dutch era at that moment with many of the firms that are quite well known. I realized there's maybe more to learn. I felt going to Japan at that moment, which was doing very different things that were happening in the Netherlands, would be very beneficial, and I think I learned a lot there. And through working there, I ended up in the US. This is downtown Brooklyn. It's really exciting. If you look at all these buildings, they're all new. This is because there was a rezoning a decade ago. And so for us to be in the center of that is really exciting. I think maybe in the past, people always thought Manhattan is where you have to be, but we very early on decided to be in Brooklyn because actually Brooklyn is much more, you know, sort of future oriented if you think about it.
Cool.
I don't see.
I was in Brooklyn when I
also
went
don't see
to
ourselves
the
as an American
to
firm.
the
In some way,
US.
the idea of nationality
I stayed in
is a
Brooklyn.
complicated one, but I do think we are very much a New York firm, in a sense that New York represents exactly all of these things that we're interested in: the ability for people to come from, you know, anywhere and do something, you know, meaningful with their lives.
We've noticed that clients or large developers and governments elsewhere in the world, like in Asia or in the Middle East, they somehow, that whole New York thing is something magical. And that is basically number one. We want to work with someone from New York.
That's cool.
We just like the fact that, you know, our projects are well liked by people and considered to be, you know, attractive. We're not sort of like the same
It's very
cookie-cutter,
attractive.
like copy paste, looking at other people kind of firm. You know, we have fun. We always want to come up with very good design that like really match the location. But also we understand that, you know, a level of joy is also super important.
Oh, cool. I had no idea that the Dutch had so much influence in American architecture and, you know, especially Brooklyn that they're investing in. And as I said, when I went to New York, I stayed in Brooklyn and it was pretty interesting. Actually, the whole of Manhattan is interesting. I mean, the whole of New York, Manhattan including, right? Brooklyn. I went to Queens as well. Where else? I went to Queens, Brooklyn, Manhattan, New Jersey. I think these were the 4 places I was in. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Guys, if you have any cool videos, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any more information, also let me know. Now we have to watch a architecture video of the Netherlands, you know, Dutch architecture in the Netherlands. You know, the most amazing buildings there. Okay, I'll see you on the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.